understand who you are working with. If they are Gen Z, be ready to take no for an answer as a boss.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Pick and Chat podcast. We are doing an episode today on remote working and business success. You know, all the people that want to be working from home, this is for you. So stay tuned. Okay, so Dennis and I are here again today, and we're going to be talking about remote working and building your business. So we're in a time where everyone wants to work from home.
Yeah.
Even, some time ago, I heard someone who's a nurse talking about how she wish she could work from home. I'm like, really?
She's in the wrong trade.
Working
but some nurses do work from home.
Yeah. Some nurses, eventually, you can get to a
those
point
on
where you can work from
111
home.
helpline and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So remote working has become a thing. It's here to stay. I believe it's here to stay. And it can have an impact on your business. So we are going to discuss that a bit more today. And Dennis, I want us to start by talking about, I think people generally know what remote working is. So being able to work from anywhere. So you don't necessarily need to have a location, an office where you go to work. Or you could even have an office. So someone could have a business in Argentina, but they work, they live in England, they work and live in England. Do you get it? But their business headquarters is in Argentina. They don't need to go to Argentina every day to keep the business going. So let's talk a bit about understanding remote working. It's not just a matter of working from home, right? Can you tell us a bit about that? Is being able to work from anywhere?
Yeah.
Does that anywhere literally include everywhere? Like being able to, or is remote working more about business on the go?
Right. So work from home is a subset of remote working.
Okay.
So remote working is working outside the headquarters or the allocated office. That means you are anywhere else you could be, but are working normally or reasonably over the internet and using your own computer.
Yeah.
Or computer that is provided by the work. So it limits remote working to works that you can do over the computer or over the internet. So if that is remote working, then what is work from home? Work from home came about when most of the time, the term became popular when COVID-19 happened.
Yeah.
And now people were asked to stay home and work. And that's why we say work from home.
Yeah.
So that is a subset of remote working outside your allocated office. So
Office.
even, I think for me, I worked from home during COVID, and it was termed as work from home because it was outside my located office. However, they made me know clearly that this is your office. So if things changing, this is where you're supposed to work, but now you're working from home. So that is the only difference.
Okay.
Work from home is under remote working.
Yeah.
But if you step out of your home, then it is remote working. And that is where there is a bit of detail. There are many companies who says you can work from home, but in the UK. So the moment your IP changes, this one is not intellectual property. This is internet protocol. When your IP changes and it's not in the UK, you have committed an offense.
Yeah.
And you might be reviewed in terms of disciplinary action. You might even be dismissed.
Yeah.
Whether it's a gross misconduct or not gross, depends on the company. So some companies will allow you to work from home remotely, but they really have given clear demarcations or boundaries to where you can stay and work. They want you in the UK or they want you in the US. There are companies you can apply to that will also say we want you either in the UK, Canada, US, or Australia. I don't know why, but I'm sensing a bit of Westernism where they just want you to be in the better part of the West to work here. That is just by the way, but that's remote working and that is work from home, and there are limits. It doesn't mean you can go anywhere.
Okay.
I think when I get a chance, I'll talk about digital nomads. Yeah.
Okay. With remote working then, has it changed the operations of business? Has it, especially, let's deal with building a business. If you're building a business now, especially, do you have to consider remote working in building your business?
Absolutely.
Tell us more.
There is no point thinking about everything around you when you think about building a business now. So now, where do we have the best sales agents who are not in the UK, in Philippines? So now you receive a lot of calls, and they are Filipinos. Where do you have the best tech engineers? They are in India. And I tell you, you can pay £1,000 for a service or an amount of work that will take you £40,000 to do in the UK. And I mean 1:40. That is how bad it is. So you don't have to think about anything. It's a total no-brainer.
So it has its
So
benefits.
yeah, it has immense benefit. My example, I built Proceed with a team that I have not physically met any before. Not you understand? Yeah, my software engineer is in Ghana. My UI guy is in Ghana. My personal assistant that runs my payroll for my cleaning company in the UK is in Ghana. He pays
Wow.
people he has never seen.
Wow,
You know my point?
that's really
so
cool.
I'm
yeah.
able to get, in quote, cheaper labor just because of internet, just because of remote working. So if you're a business person, the best thing to do now is to look around and get people to work from places that you can afford. Because of course you want to make profit. So
Yeah.
work from home is the advantages work well for startups and businesses. It is something that you wouldn't even worry thinking about.
Yeah. So if you're starting a business, some of the benefits with remote working is saving costs,
Yeah.
being able to tap into global talent.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, there are people in the Philippines that
Yeah.
are excellent customer service
Yeah.
agents. In India, tech, in Ghana, you've mentioned as well. So you have all those benefits. Are there any challenges, or if I should say, some mishaps when it comes to remote working if you're building a business? Because what I'm thinking about is if you're building a business, ideally you would want to be able to get together with your people. I know nowadays you can do that over Zoom,
Yeah.
you can do that over Teams, but gone were the days when you could literally go and get a coffee with
For people, yeah.
someone and then say, oh, this is the business idea. What do you think? What can you bring on board? Do you think there are any challenges or disadvantages when it comes to remote working and building a business?
Yeah, there are immense disadvantages, but I'm not gonna lie. The disadvantages are commensurate with the money you save. Yes.
So good.
So I've never had coffee with any of my team before.
Yeah.
We've only known ourselves on Zoom. Even on Zoom, putting up a video is even difficult. When you work with Gen Zs, you can have a meeting and be like, we need to take a nap. Look, they come with so much effrontery, exuberance, guts that
Yeah.
you never would have heard of.
Yeah.
You ask them of when are you going to finish this week? I went to town. I'm late, so I'll do it over the night. By the time you wake up, it's done.
It's done. Wow.
And these are the things you have to understand. You might not get things done the way you want it, when you want them to be done. But that is a disadvantage
Yeah.
of having people to work for you remotely. And of course, that's the disadvantage of what? Paying less. If you want to set up an office in the UK, in the US, that is fine. If you want to pay light bill, that is fine. Gas bill, that is fine. Put in chairs. As a startup founder, as a young business owner, and get people to come to the office to do things that they can do at home, but you have to step up to what? Manage them. Then it becomes, your worry. So the disadvantage is clear. It is not like going around my office, seeing my team working and doing put this here, put that there, put that there. I don't get that chance. I really have to step up to really go around the work in a way that I'll get it done without they even in the first place feeling like you might managing it, because that's also a disadvantage. Most of the time when you are in leadership of a team that is remote, you might be a micromanager because you feel like they are not working. So you want to check whether they are by their PC or by their desk. I have never done that because I don't even have a system to even check whether you're lying or not. I just send you a message on Slack or on WhatsApp. When do you think I can get this done? And when you get it done, okay. When there's urgency, I'll let you know, look, we need this done as soon as possible. Whatever you're doing, make sure it gets done by this time, and that is it. There are times my expectations are not met, no two ways. But like I said, it is way commensurate to the amount of money I'm saving.
Okay. You mentioned about being a leader and managing a remote working team. How is that? Go into a bit more detail with that, because I think leadership in remote working if because what I'm thinking about, you're a CEO of a company. If Proceed had an office in the UK, the relationship that you could build with your software engineer, with your PA, will be different to how you communicate with them via Zoom or Slack. So how have you had to kind of alter your leadership skills a bit, or what have you had to do as a CEO of a company where all your employees are in other countries in the world?
Empathy.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is one thing
Wow,
that
that's
if it
big,
works for you,
empathy.
yeah, empathy. If empathy works for you, if you master the art of empathy, you can work with everybody. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I am for the people for my team, I am an old guy, I'm an uncle. Imagine me telling you I'm an uncle. That means these guys are pretty young.
Yeah.
Some of them, when they started working with me, were literally in second year in university.
Oh,
And
okay.
sometimes you have to pause for them to go and write their exams to come and do work for you. You understand?
Yeah.
when my PA was a teaching assistant, he had just finished university, was a teaching assistant as a national service personnel. When he started working with me, I've gone through with him. Sometimes I even teach him some life skills to get things done.
Yeah.
To the point where he knows me so much that he knows what I'll do to this email. And now I wake up and emails have been responded to in my tone.
Yeah. Wow.
You understand?
Okay.
In my tone, he can write like I write because I took the time to understand that I am paying less. I am not paying somebody £2,000 to be my personal assistant a month. I am paying way less. So I am going to give a lot of value because I'm not dealing with a professional assistant. All that I needed from him was the skills.
Yeah.
All that I needed from him was he able to use Microsoft Excel, write Word document, use ChatGPT, his ability to what? Get on tech. He learned Figma, a design tool, whilst he was working with me because he realized that I can just go and be like, oh, I want a flyer. And he had to learn to do it for me. Can you imagine asking someone to do something for you that they have to learn to do? You have to give them time.
Yeah.
So empathy is very important. Understand who you are working with. If they are Gen Z, be ready to take no for an answer as a boss.
Saying
They
that
can say
now.
no to you.
Yeah. I'm trying
And
to.
I never said no to my lead. I never did
Yeah.
that.
I'm trying to even imagine now at work. Going to my manager and telling her no to her face. Maybe on Zoom I can do it. But
They can switch off anytime. And one thing that was also challenging is most of the time when you want to work remotely with people, when you start your business, you want people in developing countries, and sometimes they can get internet issues. Sometimes they don't have lights.
Yeah.
And you have to bear with it. Sometimes you cannot even beat yourself because there's nothing you can do.
You can do about it.
And sometimes you also feel like, oh, they're lying. They don't want to work today, so they said the lights are off. But your empathy comes in. Your ability to not challenge them, to let them feel like you think they are lying, and accepting that even though you know they might be lying, you trust and respect them. It makes them very comfortable with you. So a work that they'll use 1 week to do, they can tell you they don't have light for 2 days. They will use the next 2 days to finish it because of trust.
Yeah.
So when you come to me, typically, oh, I don't have lights today, my internet is off. I'm like, why is your internet off? It's because the data is running too much. I'm like, okay, I'll give you extra internet for this month. What about your light? I can't do anything about it. When it's back, I trust you. I know you'll be able to do your work. The moment you tell somebody you trust, they'll be able to do their work. Whatever it takes, they don't want to disappoint you for trusting them. And that's how it works. So empathy has really worked for me. You don't need anything apart from empathy. And it is only empathy that will make you go beyond even thinking they are lying and still say that, oh yeah, I know you're having internet challenges. I trust you can do it. Me knowing that they might be lying, they want to go to a party. And that's why they don't want to do the job. And that's
Yeah.
the way internet works. Empathy works. So empathy is a key thing. And as some people, get down with them, let them operate, and let them feel trusted.
Okay. How about communication? Have you had to, communicate in a different way?
I'm reliving this thing.
Because a lot of your employees are abroad or tell us a bit more about that when it comes to remote working.
So initially, I think I was a bit on the edge. I was a bit of a, the boss. I would not even want to use boss, of course, but there was this boss because I was being bossy because I thought I should exert some level of strength for them to take me serious. But then I realized that I was communicating wrongly. why was I communicating wrongly? Because I told them to do things and they do it the other way, and I get angry because they've done it wrong. Wrongly, and I'm like, why do you do this way? Then they explain to me what they heard me say, and then I understood that they did not understand me.
Okay.
So I was talking to them like people who should be here,
Yeah.
but they are not there. So I had to step down. And I also had a challenge with my technical team. I am not a tech person. I don't code. So when I told them things, they did not understand it from a user or let's say a layman's point of view. They would have thought a chief technical officer is talking to them. So this is what you meant by this. And there was a time I used a technical word that I did not understand, and they understood it. So they did it as they understood it. Then I got pissed. Then later when we discussed it, I realized that I used the wrong word. So now what I did was to take feedback. When I finished my meeting, I asked them, what do you understand about what I said? And what are you going to do? And it saved me hours. Sometimes it saved me. I actually built a project, Card Wisher. We built 1.5, 6 weeks into it wrongly. Yeah. Developer committed his time to it, did everything he could. He sweat. He did everything. He came out with the program like, oh no, this is not what I discussed with you. This is what I'm looking for. It's like, but you gave me an example. You gave me this, and I'm like, okay, when I said this, I wanted you to take this bit of it. But I did not stress it. I did not say it.
Yeah.
I was thinking he should what? Be reasonable enough to what? Take it. But no, he is a coding guy. You tell me like this, I want this. He just went to do the same thing for me. You can imagine how much money we lost. So communication is different when we're working remotely. Sometimes you're speaking to them and they might be on their phone because they're not in front of you. So asking for feedback from a remote team is very important. If you want a remote team to do anything, know that they might be distracted because they are already in front of a PC. Look, sometimes they have 2 desktops, they have 2 things opened. There are people who are literally working your job as a third job.
That's wow. No, that's interesting.
Yeah, your job might be a third job. So don't joke with it. You can be challenging people and trying to figure out what other jobs they're doing. That's not the most important thing. What is most important to you is your results.
Yeah.
So ask them, what did I say? Do you understand the outcomes of, what I'm asking you to do? Let them communicate to you, correct things. Then you'll be on the same pedestal. And that is how it works. Communication should be more detailed.
Wow.
And feedback should be very prudent.
Wow. I really like the point you made about, I think with the coder. Because if you said something and that's how they understood it technically. Yeah. So communication has to be specific.
Exactly.
It has to be in layman terms, really. Say it as you want it. And then, like you rightly mentioned, feedback.
Let me give you an example. There was a time they talk about stuff, very technical, and I used to say, okay, yeah, I get it. And they do it, I'm like, no. They're like, hey, you said you get it. This is what we discussed with you. So now when they are talking to me, I tell them, tell me like somebody who is a user, who is using internet for the first time. When they're able to communicate to you like that, then you know they understand what you want. And that's how it works.
That's cool.
I've had so many instances like that.
You mentioned about distractions in remote working. Let's talk a bit about that. Nowadays, even when you're on your laptop, a notification pops up. I don't know, it's like our brains have been wired. I tell you. You have to look at the notification. So as a CEO, how do you deal with distractions? I think in yourself when you're working, because Proceed does not have an office, so you don't go to office. You're when you're working on Proceed. How do you deal with distractions, and how do you deal with distractions with your employees as well who are remote working?
Yeah, for me, I've not been able to deal with it. I'm very honest. I have not been able to deal with it completely. Okay. I'm not the person that will say, when I wake up, I go and do my meditation. I wake up and I check my phone. Okay. What catch my attention for the first time? I mean, if your notification is top, that is it. Sometimes I don't get on WhatsApp. The only thing I can do is scroll up and go to the emails. If it's catchy, I just jump on it and maybe I start making my to-do list. So the only thing that helps me is my to-do list.
Okay.
If I go on, I think I use a simple tool. I use iPhone reminder. So if I go on my reminder, I know everything that is there, as you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally have a reminder to thank God.
No, but that's good. No, that's really good.
It's 2 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
Because I have to be grateful to God.
Yeah.
and I know that I am busy enough. I'm not going to lie that I'm so busy, and I'll remember to be giving praises in the middle of the day. So the moment my reminder shows, thank God, whatever I'm doing, even if I'm driving, I just start saying my word of prayer. And that's what I do. So I can challenge everybody that thinks I don't pray, because I pray like literally every day. And this is just for thanking God. I don't do anything. I don't ask for anything.
Yeah.
So if my daddy dies today, I mean, may his soul rest in peace. If my most loved person dies today and this pops up, if I'm crying, I have to thank God. So this is the extreme of it. You'd have to break yourselves to do things. So I use my own reminders, and I visit it. I'm not going to lie. I just make a call, finish making a call, and when I finish, I see a TikTok post, and I just spend 45 minutes on TikTok. Look, somebody sent me. My missus will normally send me stuff on Instagram, that she's seen.
Yeah.
I don't want to check it. But the moment I go and check it, after watching that video, I scroll
one,
up,
yeah.
and that's another 45 minutes. Look, this is me who is running like four things and still have a job.
Yeah.
You understand?
Job, exactly.
So I'm not gonna lie, it is very real. But the only thing that I have done that I don't think anybody can do it is to set reminders. There are times, if I think your husband can attest, if I miss your call, no matter what, within 24 hours,
Yeah.
I'll call you back, because I have a reminder for it to remind me of the calls I need to return.
Right.
If I want to call you and I know, let's say, for instance, in the night, I'll be like, oh, I have to call this person.
Yeah.
And I know I'll forget it. I'll set an alarm. So I use alarms as well. There are times my alarm ring and it's funny. It will tell me, call this person.
Yeah.
Or do this. And it's even to the point of changing bins. I set alarms to do it because I do too many things at a time. So if you are not disciplined like I am in terms of managing your time, you have to be disciplined enough to set reminders and to set alarms to prompt you. And that is how it is done. About managing people remotely,
Yeah.
I give them clear tasks and I get into an understanding with them how long the work should take, because for every job you do, there is a KPI. I mean, for those that don't know, KPI is a key performance indicator. Most of the time, it's time. Most of the time, sometimes it's quality. So for me, I know the quality of work I expect from you. I know the time frame you're supposed to use to do that work. So if you want to get on your phone, no problem. But make sure you get this job done by this time.
Yeah.
At this quality. And that is how my employer keeps me to work. And that is how I should also keep somebody to their work.
Yeah.
You understand? So it is very important to give people the liberty to work, but let them have a clear expectation of the quality you're expecting and the time they should finish the work in. And that is how I manage their distractions. So if you can put your phone away, that is fine. There are times I literally leave my phone in the bedroom to get to my office to work, not because of anything, but because I know if I bring this phone to me, the next notification is going to lead me into 45 or 1 hour of scrolling on Instagram or TikTok. And that is me. I've not even mentioned Snapchat.
So you have to be realistic and set some expectations for yourself before you even do it for your for your employees.
So if you're watching me, I've gotten to the point of setting a reminder to thank God. And that is how intentional you should be about getting things done. So every day, I thank God.
I think I'm going to try and take that on. A challenge for myself.
So if you're talking to me at 2 p.m. in a day and you feel like I'm distracted, no, I'm still engaging the call, but it's time to thank God.
Thank God.
So I'll be like, yeah. I'm praying in my head. So don't feel like I'm rude. 2 p.m. Don't joke with me at 2 p.m. And it's just like seconds. Thanking God for seconds. That's it.
Okay. That's cool. With remote working then, and I know we spoke about the working from home aspect, but a lot of the times people even if they are not doing it in their homes, they are still working in a place where they feel quite comfortable. And for me, I feel like that can be a distraction. In my line of work, I have to go to
now Gen Zs want to work from bars. They want to go to the bar and pub and work, and they want to be allowed to work from a pub.
So I feel like there needs to be a balance, because with my line of work, there's only so much of it I can do at home. I have to go to the office sometimes. And there are days when I work from home, I'll be honest, sometimes I feel lazy and I want to lay in bed and do the work. And so I want us to talk about that balance, being comfortable remote work and still being productive? How do we strike that balance? Because if someone's working from home, they're working in an environment where they sleep, where they want to just lounge around, watch TV, but then they have a deadline for, I don't know, 2 p.m. How can we balance the productivity and comfort in our remote working environments?
Yeah, I think it is. I wouldn't bring delayed gratification too much, but I think you should set a program to reward yourself, because
I like
when you,
that.
yeah, when you are working, you be like, okay, yeah, I have a clock, a timer that runs for an hour. I have an hourglass. These are things that I like, because I turn it and I'm like, by the time this sun, drops to the last grain, I should get this done. And when I finish, I can just go and have a snack.
Yeah.
I can just play FIFA for 15 minutes.
Okay.
It works.
Yeah.
Because distractions are real. Work
Yeah.
from home, your bed is nicely, laid, it's comfy. And you need to sit down to, really, you feel like, okay, let me lie down and put a laptop on my chest. So you become a chest top, not a laptop. Or the desktop become a neck top. So people literally put their thing on their neck and, oh, come on. It is too much.
Yeah.
The whole thing is commit to work, but set a program to reward yourself.
Wow.
So for me, my whole thing is about food. I like food. So I'll just have this good food I want to eat. And I'll be like, I'll eat it at half 12. But I need to get this done. And it has gone to the point where if I've not gotten something done and I'm eating, I feel like,
You feel bad.
oh, I'm not going to have this food and still come back to this ton of work. So now I want to finish a ton of work so that I can have that time to work.
Enjoy the food.
Enjoy. There are days too, there are secrets in work from that your boss know, but you think they don't know. They know you can really do this work in less than the whole working day. So why don't you do it early? So you have good time for yourself than to waste the time and later will be what?
Russian.
Rushing and doing low quality work. So have a good program to reward yourself. If it is game that distracts you, tell yourself, look, if I work every 2 hours, I'm going to play game for 10 minutes. It works. Because from work from home, the whole truth is your bosses know that you are not working all the 8 hours you are by your desk. They know. So you have to apportion the time to get the work done anyway. Get it at the toppest quality. Then you can reward yourself with these things you like to do, or these things you that distract you. TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram. You have a whole lot of notifications coming in. So tell yourself, okay, I'm going to get this work done, and in the next 20 minutes, I'm just going to go on my TikTok, and just watch for you, content. It's so nice. You can really, because one thing with work from home is when you are on social media whilst working from home, you're not really enjoying yourself on social media because you are always having that at the back of your mind that you need to work. Oh, yeah, I have to work. I have to. It doesn't make you enjoy it. So tell yourself, I'm going to come here. Don't ignore the distraction. Acknowledge it. I'm going to come to you. You are in my time. But let me get this work done so that I can really enjoy you. So when you get on social media, you have 20 minutes to really scroll. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I like that. I really love the rewarding thing.
Acknowledge your distractions. Yeah.
Because you're being real with yourself. Then.
Yeah.
You're not pretending that, oh, there's this work that I need to do, but I'm just gonna pretend that the work doesn't exist. No, that's a good point. I hope you're learning something from this video. Anyway, rounding it up, I think for me, every time I think about remote working, I'm like, is there a future to this? Are we gonna get to a point where, I don't know, we go hybrid in the sense that, remote working will still be a thing, but then there'll be a new expectation where there has to be some form of physical working too. And prior to COVID, I don't think a lot of people were thinking about that. But nowadays you hear things, oh, let's have a 4-day week. I mean, a lot of people are working from home and they still want a 4-day.
Yeah.
Let's have this, let's have that. So have you ever thought about the future of remote working? I think especially for you, your business. I don't know if you ever think about Proceed having a headquarters somewhere, and how would that look like, for example, for your PA in Ghana or for your customer service agent in the Philippines? How will working look like for them having their company's headquarters in, I don't know, United Kingdom or somewhere like New York? Yeah. So let's talk in the final few minutes. Let's talk about the future of remote working with these things in mind.
Yeah, I think it will be the high stakeholders to determine, because remote working is not going nowhere. It's not going to go anywhere. It is always going to. I mean, work is going to get as remote as possible to the extent that even things previously, everybody that was sick went to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you are sick, an algorithm can ask you questions and determine how serious the sickness is and refer you to a telemed, you know,
Yep.
a tele doctor to talk to you rather than
Yeah.
come to the hospital. So it's to get to a point. Now we all know that it is working too, because many cases that came to the hospital at a time didn't have to go to the hospital to queue up.
Yeah.
Now people get medication on phone. They get diagnosis on phone. They send a reference to a pharmacy. They go to the pharmacy
pick
and
up
take
their
it.
medication,
A time will come, you go to a pharmacy, there's nobody there. You go with a reference number, key it in, or a QR code, key it in, it scans it,
ready
and
to be dispensed.
it get dispensed to you.
Yeah.
So we are getting
Wow.
to the point where pharmacists will not even be in a pharmacy. I have a friend in New Jersey who is an electrical engineer who has worked from home for the time I've known him when he graduated. But who would have thought an electrical engineer would work from home?
Yeah.
I know somebody, a doctor of pharmacy. He's also in New Jersey, who works from home. You know, jobs have gotten to the point that we don't need too many people hands-on.
Yeah.
However, some investors and some companies, for the sake of culture and for their own ego, still want to see people working from an office. So recently, which company said, is it Starbucks, said all the administration officers to come back? I don't want to be quoted wrong. I don't know whether it's Starbucks. One of these big companies. I mean, I think they changed the CEO. I'm sorry if it's not Starbucks, but I just mentioned it, so I'll just take it out. A big company in the Fortune 500 has actually called all the staff to come back to the office. If you cannot come, you are off.
Oh wow.
And it is clearly the ego of somebody. It's clearly the ego of people because they have so much infrastructure that they cannot offload, that they are still paying for. And they'll feel like, okay, if we still have this and we are still putting the lights on, and come and sit down and work. But let me tell you one nuance. Have you thought of the carbon footprint of working in the office?
Yeah.
So if you are any reasonable company who has 1,000 staff and they're all going to drive to the office because you can't force them to what? Come by buses or trains. That means you are really, really contributing a lot to what? The carbon in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So the only way, I always tell people that any company that wants to, cut on their carbon footprint, part of their growth strategy, should just let people start working from home. So as many people that can work from home should work from home.
Yeah.
That is it. So if you ask me, I don't see remote working going anywhere. I see many jobs getting as remote as possible. And with the advent of Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas and the unknown gens who are coming, look, work from home is something you look for in your job advert.
Yeah.
So if you want to attract them, you have to let them work from home. So people should build around that. And that is how it's going to be. Work from home has come to stay. And yes, people are trying, but I think it is more of ego and already money that has been spent already that they want to make use of. That is all. Because if you ask me, for me, I don't pay for an office. I don't pay for electricity, no gas. People don't come to the office to drink tea and drink coffee, and I don't pay for all of that. I get people who tell the money I'm giving them, they're happy because they also don't want to spend that money getting transportation to work. You understand? So it's doing us good.
Yeah.
And we're getting work done. Look, I've shipped the product with people remotely.
Yeah.
It's working. People are subscribing. Payments are coming in. And it's working.
It's working.
It's working. If I want to do marketing, if I want to advertise on Google, it's online. I don't need anybody to go to people's door to advertise. Meta ads are online.
Yeah.
Now you can even get people on Fiverr that you've never met, like just a one-off job. Get them to do stuff for you. They're not your employees.
No.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Get things done for you and you have a product and it's running. If you have an e-commerce store, you can get UGC created, user-generated content creators. They just create videos for you as if they are using your product. And your product will have an external feel like, oh yeah, this person is using it. There are live people who are using it. You post it, you run ads with it, and make money whilst you're home. So what's the point on... Previously, marketing teams will have a whole studio.
Yeah.
Now, you ship a product to somebody, they will use their own tripod and
Their
just take a few pounds from you.
everything,
Their lighting, they have their own setup. That's their own piece of work. They will do it and send it to you. Previously, those should have been a whole marketing studio for big company shooting their products. Now you get 1,000 people to do what you would do with so much budget.
Yeah. Wow. The times we're in, you know.
Yeah. Everybody has a tripod now. They all have cameras.
You know.
Some of the young people have their own lights. You see that around city centers, they put their own lights on and make content. And you see them reviewing products, like saying good stuff about it, product that they've barely used or they barely know. Review it properly for you, and it works.
Remote working is here to stay. You heard it on Pick and Chat podcast first. Remote working is here to stay. I think this episode is probably one that we're going to have to come back to. And maybe in a couple of years' time, we'll come back and talk about remote working again.
Whether it's gone or it's still here. I think it's not going nowhere. No. It's going to get better.
But let us know what you think in the comment section. Whether you like remote working from home. What are your views on it? Are you against it? Do you want to be working from home more in the current job you're doing? Let us know in the comment section. And thank you for watching this video. I want to use this opportunity as well to thank everyone. I think from Dennis and I, throughout the year, you've been with us, you've watched our videos, and we're here in December 2024. We want to thank God as well, because it's been an amazing journey. And stay tuned. If you're watching this video in 2025, stay tuned. We have some amazing content coming your way in 2025. And thank you for staying with us. Bye.
See ya.